Now, as far as facelifts are concerned, I'm sure a lot of you will agree that Hyundai has done a rather good job with this, the updated Venue. And if you've seen our walk around video, you probably know everything that is new on the car. But that of course was in a dimly lit room. It was closed off, a lot of chaos around Nikhil. Today, the skies are clear, we have it out on the road for a drive, and we're going to find out exactly what all has changed and has it made a difference to the way it drives. The new Venue is a classic facelift job wherein you have the basic silhouette that remains the same but with refreshed styling. At the front, the new parametric jewel grille is laden with dark chrome and has plenty of bling factor. The headlamps get LED projectors this time round, and the design up top has been refreshed as well. The bumper is more angular and gets an end-to-end panel that gives it a wide look. Over to the side, the wheel size remains the same, but the design is the most noticeable change with a new diamond cut pattern and a slightly different panel under the cladding. The rear is the highlight thanks to the long edge pattern LED light bar and squared off bumpers that give it a more upmarket look. What's new on the updated Venue, on the inside especially, is the dashboard layout. It's dual tone now, which means it's black and greige. That's Hyundai's terminology. And that means it's neither grey nor is it beige. Either way, it works really well, breaks the overall flow, and that's quite nice. It looks nice and premium as well. Other bits are a touchscreen, same 8-inch, but the UI in it has been revamped. You also get some more features like ambient sounds. You have these nice soothing sounds while you're on a drive. It can be a bit distracting, depends on how you look at it. The other thing is SIM-based connectivity. Of course, Venue was the first car to get SIM-based connected tech, and with this it has only grown. You now have Alexa support, which means sitting in your bedroom you can do lots of things like check your TPMS, check where the car is, fuel level, and lots of other things. So there's a lot happening just in this connected touchscreen. The new bit is the fully digital cluster. Looks very sharp and modern, but I really wish that it had at least bars for average, because right now it's just numbers moving around and it's not really exciting to look at. Of course, you can change the themes around it as well. And overall, yes, it has sort of upped the overall premium quotient of it. You still get the sunroof, wireless charging, you get a Type-C port, and you get the air purifier, which was earlier manual. You got this big flask robbing away one of the cup holders. Now it is digital, and that means you get some space here as well. And yeah, it's a pretty packed car overall. The other big change are the seats. You now get powered adjust for the driver's seat, which means you can move front and rear and adjust the backrest as well electrically. Height is still manual adjust, but that said, I think ventilated seats is something they should have put in, because the Sonnet gets it. There was no reason for the Venue to not get it. So that's a bit of a miss on my side. But there have also been changes to the back. So let's quickly sample that out. Now in the back seat of the updated Venue, there have been some substantial changes, and changes that you can easily notice. The first is the extended knee room, which means you have these scooped out front seats that give you some space for your knees, and you also have the seat squab that is now larger, which means under thigh support is better as well. You also have some space under the front seat to keep your feet in, and overall it is a much comfortable seat. What's the other big highlight is of course the backrest, the two-step reclining backrest. It is a bit of a reach, but once you have it in the position, it does make a big difference. You just are a bit more relaxed, and long drives as a result are a lot more comfortable. So yes, overall huge improvements to the back seat. Other bits include Type-C ports for your devices, so that means faster charging. You have rear AC vents of course, and like I mentioned, an air purifier. That said, the Venue is not the roomiest of the three SUVs, and seating 3 at the back will be a squeeze. In terms of safety, the Venue in even its base spec gets dual airbags, ABS with EBD, parking sensors and ISOFIX mounts, while on the top spec, it gets 6 airbags, TPMS, reversing camera and hill assist control. However, the Venue is yet to be tested by Global NCAP for a safety rating. Now powering the updated Venue R3 engine option, same as before, a 1.2 litre 83 horsepower petrol engine that is mated to a 5-speed manual, a 100 horsepower 1.5 litre diesel engine mated to a 6-speed manual, and a 1 litre 120 horsepower turbo petrol mated to a 6-speed IMT and a 7-speed DCT transmission. Now the thing with the Venue is, even though it is an SUV, the diesel engine is not the top choice for buyers, and sadly I don't see why, because on a full tank I have a claimed range, or rather the range that is on display, of over 900 kilometers, and I don't see any reason to deny that, because when you're on a nice long highway journey, you will definitely appreciate a diesel engine more. The nice oodles of torque on offer, you have a nice 6-speed, well spaced out gearbox, and it really is very, very comfortable to drive as well. The fuel efficiency is obviously the highlight. But Hyundai's missed the trick by not giving the Venue diesel an automatic transmission option, something that its cousin the Kia Sonet does get. Now what's largely unchanged on this updated Venue is the ride quality. It still is the same, so highway speeds and high speed stability is not a problem, but at low speeds there is a bit of firmness, especially over sharp patches, cuts and broken roads. It is a bit jittery in here, and yes, you will feel the bumps slightly. That said, it is the turbo petrol engine that is favored the most. Now a diesel engine is all well and good in terms of efficiency and long highway driving, but when you want to have a little bit of fun, it is a turbo petrol that will be at the top of the chart. This 120 horsepower 1 litre turbo petrol engine is just superb, and even though it is mated to a 6-speed IMT gearbox, it still is a bit engaging. Because even if you don't have the engagement of a clutch, you still get the gear shift, and that is quite important. The shifts might not be as quick and responsive as a traditional manual, but it sure offers a bit more in terms of driver engagement. The engine refinement is the same as before, which means vibrations are well contained and the performance is lively. But of course, the new bit on the Venue is the DCT. As before, there's only one fully automatic version of the Venue on sale, and that's the Turbo DCT. This is the 1 litre turbo petrol engine, 120 horsepower, but this time mated to a 7-speed DCT. Now there's nothing new about this. This was available with the earlier iteration as well, but the DCT here is a 2nd gen DCT, which means shifts are slightly faster, response times are better, and efficiency is better as well. To me personally, I don't see much difference at all. It might be minor in the way the tuning is done, but overall it is still very, very peppy. And if you like to go fast, this is it. Now the IMT might seem the version that rewards driving enthusiasts a lot more. You get that proper manual shifting, but even in this you get paddle shifters which are quite responsive, and you get a triptonic function as well, which means you can control the gearbox manually to an extent. And they will be used a fair bit since the shift speed on the Venue DCT isn't the fastest. There is a hint of hesitation on upshifts, and the engine does get quite boomy as well. However, what the Venue has in addition to that for this facelift is drive modes. Flipping through the drive modes does change the character of the engine. In Sport, the responses are better and the gearbox is sharper, as opposed to Eco mode, where the engine and gearbox are at their most leisurely setting. Normal mode strikes a good balance and is likely to be used the most. However, we would have liked an N-line version, like I said, more than these small aesthetic bits. Maybe they could have given us something on the outside, something like the i20 N-line, and that would have been a real hot seller. But the good news is that the Venue N-line is coming. At least that's what SpyPix suggest. Fingers crossed. With the facelift, Hyundai has refreshed what had become too familiar a face. Prices range between 7.53 lakh to 12.57 lakh rupees, which puts the Venue right in the mix of the compact SUV segment. With the facelift, the changes to the exterior have certainly given it a breath of fresh air. The added equipment list has made it stronger still, and the varied powertrain options, including a diesel engine, gives it a strong edge. There's no diesel automatic, and it's not the roomiest of models for the price, but as a friendly urban drive, the Venue continues to work well.